Hey, how's it going? Broadbent here. Today we're going to be breaking down my survival game tier list. I've got a collection of games on the right, which we're going to be putting into the correct category. Obviously, the higher up on this list, the better it is. Right now, I'm spoiled for choice. I don't know where to begin, so we're going to start with some obvious ones. Let's go with Green Hell, okay? Green Hell was a great survival game. It was a little bit too survivally potentially for me, but it had a great story, solid story, good survival mechanics, base building. I'm honestly going to put Green Hell in A tier. That's a pretty good game. For those of you that remember Desert Skies, this was a very interesting game, a very small game, where you would basically, it was Raft in a hot air balloon in a desert. Really cool game, but unfortunately I think it has been abandoned. So, I mean, it's a great concept. I think it's a B tier game, just because... No, I'm going to put it in C, I think, just because it's been abandoned and nothing is coming out for it. So, now what determines the ranking is basically my experience with the game, not the popularity. I'm not going to take that into account, none of that political stuff. We're just going to be taking in my experience of the game. Subnautica Below Zero, as good as the first game was, Below Zero, I don't know, didn't have the same charm. It felt very different. So, yeah, it's definitely a little lower on my list here. Unturned, unfortunately, I have not yet played this, so that is going to go in the unranked category. That's something that I would like to play at some point. I just don't really have any reason to. Doesn't seem too appealing. Raft. I've got to say, I really want to put this in S tier. It's an all-round very solid game, and you get a great experience for it now that it's complete out of early access too. Yeah, I'm going to put Raft in the S tier. That seems fair. Now, I'm looking at a few of these, and this is going to become quite difficult here. So, Atlas, okay? A lot of you probably don't even know what Atlas is, but that's going to go all the way down here. I'm just not even going to spend any more time on that one. That was a terrible game. Ark Survival Evolved, also, in my opinion, terrible game. That's probably going to upset some people. Conan Exiles, you know, that is a game that had potential, but I don't think it went in the right direction. I don't know enough about it to say for certain, but from my experience with it, it's not quite all the way down here. The gameplay's up here, but now they've added microtransactions and stuff like that. You know, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. Among Trees. This is a very interesting one to talk about. So Among Trees was an outstanding game for its time and its category. It was made so well. But unfortunately, it has been completely abandoned by the developers. They're no longer providing updates for the game, the website's been taken down, it is just an as-is product, and it's pretty much unfinished, which is a real shame because it could have gone so much further. But in terms of ranking, I might have to put it down here, honestly, just because of the abandoned status of it. So, in fact, no, I'm going to go a little lower. I mean, if it wasn't abandoned, it would be up here, but it's abandoned, so dead game. Minecraft, is there any question about it? That is indeed an S tier game. Now, if you're wondering why I've got 3 different Minecrafts, that's because there's Xbox 360 edition and there's Bedrock edition. They are basically completely different games. They play completely differently. So that's why I'm going to be ranking them differently. In fact, let's start doing that. Bedrock edition, that's going to go all the way down here. Terrible game. Let's take a look at Rust really quickly. Rust is an outstanding game. It's got a very active development team. There's constant updates coming out for the game. It's very well polished. My only gripe with this is that it's Rust. Like, whenever you want to go and play the game, you've got to commit, and you cannot take time off because you're going to get offline raided. So, I kind of want to put Rust up here, but just because of my personal experience with it, it's such a taxing game to play. It's going to go in A tier. Okay, what do we want to do next? I'm going to take a look at Volcanoids. Volcanoids was a very interesting, fresh take on survival, if you ask me. The base building is basically like you tunnel bore. You're building a tunnel bore on an island that is got a volcano on it. It's very interesting. In my opinion, Volcanoids is actually quite a solid game. They've actually been putting out a lot of updates for it. It's changed a lot since I last played it. So I would even like to maybe even revisit Volcanoids in the future. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to put that in B tier. That's a pretty solid game, but from what I know about it, it does need more work. Okay, Terraria, no question about it. That's going all the way up here. Let's just shrink that a little bit. There we go. Shredded Deep, the concept and promise of the game, S tier. What was actually delivered as a final product, C, maybe D. Like, I think it falls in D right here, right alongside Among Trees, because of the promise. These two are very similar in ways. The promise of the game and then what actually was delivered. That's going to go in D tier. And if it's low on the list, technically, I don't think it's a bad game. I just think there are things wrong with it that warrant it being in that category. Grounded is a great survival game. It's a very, very solid experience developed by Obsidian Entertainment, which is a huge gaming company. So, I don't know. I've had a great experience with this. Lots of bugs, though. Hey. So, I'm going to put that in S tier, honestly. A very solid game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely S tier. Scum. Yep, just gonna put that there. So Don't Starve and Don't Starve together. Unfortunately, I haven't had the luxury of playing this game yet. So these do go in unranked. If you want to see me play these, you could let me know in the comments below. Darkwood. I have not yet played this. I've seen it on a lot of articles talking about, you know, it's a really good survival game. I don't know enough about it, unfortunately, so that belongs down here. Winter Survival. It's a little early to say if this is going to be a good game or not. I played the demo very recently on the channel, and it did seem very, very good. So we're going to be looking at this hopefully in the future on the channel as well. But for what I've seen in the demo and the gameplay, I think this is quite a solid B tier game. So we're going to stack that right there. Valheim, S tier, no question about it. Astroneer was a very, very interesting game. I had a lot of time playing it before so many updates when it was in a bit more of a crude state. It was very entertaining to play. I love the idea of going to new planets. It was a very, very good experience. I'm going to put that in A tier, honestly. Okay, what to do next? Dying Light. I am yet to play this. I'm not sure if this actually correctly falls under like a survival game in this sort of specific way. I know you're obviously surviving, but I don't know. I'm going to call that unranked because I just haven't really spent too much time with it. The Long Dark. Okay, this is tricky because The Long Dark was a textbook survival game. However, there's no base building or anything like that. It's a very story-driven game. And I have to say, I did not have fun playing it. It's a chore to play. There's too much survival in this game. So, unfortunately, that does probably come down here, maybe. It's not quite as bad as Conan Exiles and all these, so I'm going to put that over here. Let's chuck that right there. Okay, Wylands was interesting. I actually did this as a sponsorship a good while ago, and I've got to say that it's a great foundation for a game. Unfortunately, the direction that the game has gone in is very far from it. I think it's got like multiple modes where it's it's kind of laid out like a Minecraft server where there's a bunch of different game modes and stuff like that. So it's not exactly what I would choose to play in a survival game, but it could have gone in a very different direction. So unfortunately, I'm going to rank it where it is today, which unfortunately, I think it might have to go down here. Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. Probably a lot of you played it. Very, very close to my heart. This is a great game. That is going to go S tier, honestly. Yeah, S tier. I was going to put it in A, but S tier seems fair. It's such a nostalgic game. Way better than Bedrock Edition. Okay, next game. The Forest. I really want to put this straight in S tier. I have my problems with it. No, okay, no, it's S tier, I'm just playing with you. No Man's Sky, what a redemption story. Now, when it first came out, obviously, it's all the way down here, but it has been working its way up over time. And I've got to say, so far, I'm going to put this in the A tier. It's an A tier game. Voidtrain. Okay, I had very high hopes for this game, but I don't know. I got very bored of it. A lot of you might have watched it on my channel, and I just decided to stop playing it. I got so bored. It's a very grindy game. It's kind of moody looking, and it's just repetitive. It's grindy. So, yeah, I think that falls maybe in this category right here alongside Desert Skies. I think that's fair. Okay, V Rising was a new release, and great game. Very good foundation. I did have a lot of fun with V Rising, a lot like everyone else that played it. I think it just died off a lot lately, but I'm not counting that in my ranking. As a survival game itself, Very good. I didn't like the camera or the vampire style too much, but generally speaking, good survival game. So honestly, I think I'm going to put that A tier. DayZ. Not my type of game. I dreamt of playing this game before I had a PC. Never did. Never interested me. In my opinion, it goes down here. Apparently the DayZ standalone is also quite bad. Subnautica is great. Absolutely great game. I don't think there's many things wrong with it at all. It's got a good story. Okay, I'm making a decision. Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition gets lowered because I had a few issues with it towards the end of its lifespan, so we're going to do that, and we're going to put Subnautica up here. Yeah, I think that's fair. Project Zomboid, unfortunately, I am yet to play this. Apparently, it's a very, very good game. I've wanted to play this recently quite heavily, so if you want to see some videos on Project Zomboid, let me know in the description, because it's something that I'm on the fence about. But from what I've seen of it with high ratings and things like that, I would expect it to be up here. That's where I would imagine it being, but unfortunately I haven't played it, so it does belong in the unranked category. 7 Days to Die is an extremely unique game. There's full world destruction you can dig. It's a lot like Minecraft, but in a realistic take. But I have to say that it's, what, like 8 years old now, and it's still, from what I remember, has a very present early access feel about it. I think this game needs a massive graphical overhaul, but in terms of the concept and the gameplay they have, I'm sure it's fine. I'm going to put this in B tier right here. And last but definitely not least, Sons of the Forest. Now this game is not out yet, and you're probably wondering why it's in my list. I'm basically going to rank it where I expect this to be. Based on the track record of the Forest, it probably would be around here. Now that's kind of where I'm expecting it. However, when you take a look at some of the details that they've announced about it, I am getting slightly concerned. So I'm expecting it to maybe be here. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I want this to be a great game. So I'm going to safely put Sons of the Forest as a guess right here, based on my past experiences with the Forest, which was an outstanding game. It's the main reason that I'm here today on YouTube, because of the Forest. I grew my channel with that game, and I really, really hope Sons of the Forest lives up to the same standard. Alright, well that concludes my survival game tier list. If you disagree with anything here, make sure to post your feedback in the comments. I'm also going to provide a link in the description to this exact list so you can make your own, and I encourage you to head over to discord.gg/broadbent and send me your list in my Discord. I want to see what you think about these survival games and where you put them on the list. Anyhow, that's all I've got time for in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like on the video on your way out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.